It is one of the most romantic stories in the history of mathematics. In 1913, the English mathematician G. H. Hardy received a strange letter from unknown clerk in Madras, India. The 10-page letter contained about 120 statements of theorems on infinite series, improper integrals, continued fractions and number theory. Every prominent mathematician gets letter from all over the world, and at first glance Hardy no doubt decided to ignore the letter. But something about the formulas made him take a second look and show it to his collaborator J. E. Littlewood. After a few hours, they concluded the results must be true because if they were not true, no one would have had the imagination to invent them. Thus was Srinivasa Ramanujam introduced to the mathematical world. Ramanujam was born on 22nd December 1887 into Tamil Brahmin Iyengar family in Erode, Madras Presidency, at residence of his maternal grandparents. His father was Kuppuswamy Srinivas Iyengar, originally from Tanjavur district, worked as a clerk in sari shop. His mother was Komala Tamil, was a housewife and sang at local temple. They lived in a small traditional home on Sarangapani Sannidhi Street in town of Kumbakonam. When Ramanujan was a year and a half old, his mother gave birth to a son who died less than 3 months later. In December 1889, Ramanujan contracted smallpox but recovered. He moved with his mother to her parents' house in Kanchipuram. His mother gave birth to 2 more children in 1891 and 1894, both of whom died before their first birthdays. When he was nearly 5 years old, Ramanujam entered the primary school in Kumbakonam, although he would attend several different primary schools before entering the town high school in Kumbakonam in January 1898. At the town high school, Ramanujan was to do well in all his school subjects and showed himself an able all-round scholar. Since Ramanujan's father was at work most of the day, his mother took care of the boy and they had a close relationship. From her, he learned about traditional and Puranas, to sing religious songs, to attend pujas at temple and maintain particular eating habits, all part of Brahmin culture. A child prodigy, by 11, he had exhausted mathematical knowledge of 2 college students who were lodgers at his home. He was later lent a book by S. L. Loney on advanced trigonometry. He mastered this by age of 13 while discovering sophisticated theorems on his own. By 14, he received merit certificates and academic awards that continued throughout his school career. He completed mathematical exams in half the time allotted and showed a familiarity with geometry and infinite series. Ramanujam was shown how to solve cubic equation in 1902. He developed his own method to solve quadratic. The following year, he tried to solve quintic, not knowing that it could not be solved by radicals. In 1903, when he was 16, Ramanujan obtained from a friend a library copy of A Synthesis of Elementary Results in Pure and Applied Mathematics by G. S. Carr collection of 5,000 theorems. Ramanujan reportedly studied the contents of the book in detail. The book is generally acknowledged as a key element in awakening his genius. The next year, Ramanujan independently developed and investigated the Bernoulli numbers and calculated Euler-Mastroianni constant up to 15 decimal places. His peers at the time said they rarely understood him and stood in respectable awe of him. When he graduated from Town Higher Secondary School in 1904, Ramanujam was awarded the K. Ranganatha Rao Prize for Mathematics by school's headmaster. He received a scholarship to study Government Arts College, Kumbakonam, but was intent on mathematics that he could not focus on any other subjects and failed most of them, losing his scholarship in process. In August 1905, Ramanujan ran away from his home and heading towards Visakhapatnam and stayed at Rajamundry for a month. He later enrolled at Pachiyappa College in Madras. There he passed in mathematics, choosing only to attempt questions that appealed to him and leaving the rest unanswered, but performed poorly in other subjects such as English, psychology and Sanskrit. Ramanujam failed his Fellow of Arts exam in December 1906 and again a year later. Without a Fellow of Arts degree, he left college and continued to pursue independent research in mathematics, living in extreme poverty and often at the brink of starvation. In 1910, after meeting between 23-year-old Ramanujan and the founder of Indian Mathematical Society, V. Ramaswamy Iyengar, Ramanujan began to get recognition in Madras mathematical circles, leading to his inclusion as a researcher of University of Madras. On July 14, 1909, Ramanujan married 10-year-old Janaki Ramanujan later developed a hydrocele testis. The condition could be treated with a routine surgical operation, but his family could not afford the operation. In January 1910, a doctor volunteered to do the surgery at no cost. After his successful surgery, Ramanujan searched for a job. He stayed at a friend's house while he went from door to door around Madras looking for a clerical position. To make money, he tutored students at Presidency College who were preparing for their Fellow of Arts exam. In later 1910, Ramanujan was sick again. He feared for his health and told his friend to hand his notebooks over to Professor Singaluru Mudaliar, the mathematics professor at Pachiyappa College, or to British Professor Edward B. Ross of Madras Christian College. After Ramanujan recovered and retrieved his notebooks, he took train from Kumbakonam to Villupuram, a city under French control. In May 1913, upon securing a research position at Madras University, Ramanujan moved with his family to Triplicane. In 1910, Ramanujan met Deputy Collector V. Ramaswamy Iyer, who founded Indian Mathematical Society, wishing for a job in Revenue Department where Iyer worked. Ramanujan showed his mathematician's notebooks. As Iyer later recalled, "I was struck by extraordinary mathematical results contained in the notebooks. I had no mind to smother his genius by appointment in the lowest rungs of Revenue Department." Iyer sent Ramanujan with letters of introduction to his mathematician friends in Madras. Some of them looked at his work and gave him letters of introduction to R. Ramachandra Rao, District Collector of Nellore and Secretary of Indian Mathematical Society. Rao was impressed by Ramanujan's research but doubted that it was his own work. Ramanujan mentioned a correspondence he had with Professor Saladan, a notable Bombay mathematician, in which Saladan expressed a lack of understanding of his work but concluded that he was not a fraud. Rao agreed to give him another chance and listened to Ramanujan discuss elliptic integrals, hydrogeometric series and his theory of divergent series, which Rao ultimately convinced him of Ramanujan's brilliance. When Rao asked him what he wanted, Ramanujan replied that he needed work and financial support. Rao consented and sent him to Madras. He continued his research with Rao's financial aid. With Iyer's help, Ramanujan had his work published in Journal of Indian Mathematical Society. Later, in 1912, Ramanujan applied to the Chief of Accountant of Madras Port Trust. He got the job. At his office, Ramanujan easily and quickly completed the work he was given and spent his spare time doing mathematical research. Ramanujan's boss, Sir Francis Spring, and S. Narayana Iyer, a colleague who was also treasurer of Indian Mathematical Society, encouraged Ramanujan in his mathematical pursuits. In spring of 1913, Narayan Iyer, Ramachandra Rao and E.W. Middlemas tried to present Ramanujan's work to British mathematicians. M.J. Hill of University College of London commented that Ramanujan's papers were riddled with holes. He said although Ramanujan had a taste for mathematics but some ability, he lacked the necessary educational background and foundation to be accepted by mathematicians. Although Hill did not offer to take Ramanujan as a student, he gave thorough and serious professional advice on his work. With the help of friends, Ramanujan drafted letters to leading mathematicians at Cambridge University. The first two, Professor H. F. Baker and E. W. Hobson, returned Ramanujan's papers without comment. On January 16, 1913, Ramanujan wrote to G. H. Hardy. Hardy initially viewed Ramanujan manuscripts as possible fraud. Hardy recognized some of Ramanujan's formulae, but others seemed scarcely possible to believe. Hardy was also impressed by some of Ramanujan's other work relating to infinite series. The first results had already been determined by G. Borer in 1859. The second, which was done by Ramanujan, was new to Hardy. Hardy found these results much more intriguing more than Gauss' work on integrals. After seeing Ramanujan's theorems on continued fractions on the last page of the manuscripts, Hardy said the theorems defeated me completely. I had never seen anything in the least like them before. Hardy asked a colleague, J. E. Littlewood, to take a look on the papers. Littlewood was amazed by Ramanujan's genius. After discussing the papers with Littlewood, Hardy concluded that letters were certainly the most remarkable I have received, and that Ramanujan was a mathematician of highest quality, a man of altogether exceptional originality and power. One colleague, E. W. Neville, later remarked that not one theorem could have been set in the most advanced mathematical examination in the world. On 8 February 1913, Hardy wrote Ramanujan a letter expressing interest in his work, adding that it was essential that I should see proofs of some of your assertions. Before his letter arrived in Madras, Hardy contacted the Indian office to plan Ramanujan's trip to Cambridge. Secretary Arthur Davies of Indian Advisory Committee for Indian Students met with Ramanujan to discuss overseas trip. In accordance with Brahmin upbringing, Ramanujan refused to leave his country and to go to a foreign land. Meanwhile, he sent Hardy a letter packed with theorems, writing, "I have found a friend in you who views my labor sympathetically." Hardy's correspondence with Ramanujan soared after Ramanujan refused to come to England. Hardy insisted a colleague lecturer in Madras, E. H. Neville, to mentor and bring Ramanujan to England. Neville asked Ramanujan why he would not go to Cambridge. Ramanujan later accepted the proposal. Neville said Ramanujan needed no converting and his parents' opposition had been withdrawn. Apparently, Ramanujan's mother had a vivid dream in which family goddess, the deity of Namagiri, commanded her to stand no longer between her son and fulfillment of his life's purpose. Ramanujan travelled to England by ship, leaving his wife to stay with his parents in India. Ramanujan departed from Madras on board SS Nivasa on 17 March 1914. He reached London on 14 April. After arriving in Cambridge, Ramanujan immediately began his work with Littlewood and Hardy. Hardy and Littlewood began to look at Ramanujan's notebook. Hardy had already received 120 theorems from Ramanujan in his first two letters, but there were many more results and theorems in his notebooks. Hardy saw that some were wrong, others had already been discovered, and the rest were new breakthroughs. Ramanujan left a deep impression on Hardy and Littlewood. Littlewood commented, "I can believe that he is at least Jacobi," while Hardy said he can only be compared with Euler or Jacobi. Both Euler and Jacobi were notable mathematicians. Ramanujan spent nearly 5 years in Cambridge collaborating with Hardy and Littlewood and published part of his findings there. Hardy and Ramanujan had highly contrasting personalities. Their collaboration was a clash of different cultures, beliefs, and working style. In previous few decades, the foundation of mathematics had come into question and the need for mathematical rigorous proof recognized. Hardy was an atheist and obstacle of proof and mathematical vigor, whereas Ramanujan was a deeply religious man who relied very strongly on his intuition and insights. Hardy tried his best to fill the gaps in Ramanujan's education and mentor him in the need for formal proofs to support his results without hindering his inspiration, a conflict that neither found easy. Ramanujan was awarded a Bachelor of Arts by Research degree, the predecessor of PhD degree, in March 1916 for his work on highly composite numbers, the first part of which was published as a paper in Proceedings of London Mathematical Society. The paper was more than 50 pages long and proved various properties of such numbers. Hardy remarked that it was one of the most unusual papers in mathematical research at that time, and Ramanujan showed extraordinary ingenuity in handling it. On 6 December 1917, Ramanujan was elected to the London Mathematical Society. On 2 May 1918, he was elected a Fellow of Royal Society, the second Indian admitted after Ardeshir Kursaturji in 1841. At age 31, Ramanujan was one of the youngest fellows in Royal Society's history. He was elected for his investigation in elliptic functions and theory of numbers. On 13 October 1918, he was the first Indian to be elected a Fellow of Trinity College, Cambridge. Ramanujan was plagued by health problems throughout his life. His health worsened in England, possibly due to difficulty of keeping to the strict dietary requirements of his religion there and because of wartime rationing in 1914 to 18. He was diagnosed with tuberculosis and severe vitamin deficiency and confined to a sanatorium. In 1919, he returned to Kumbakonam, Madras Presidency, and in 1920 he died at the age of 32. After his death, his brother Tirunarayanan compiled Ramanujan's remaining handwritten notes consisting of formulae on singular module, hydrogeometric series, and continued fractions. Ramanujan's widow, Srimati Janaki Ammal, lived in Madras, where she supported herself on pension from Madras University and income from tailoring. In 1950, she adopted a son, W. Narayanan. In her later years, she was granted a lifetime pension from Ramanujan's former employer, the Madras Port Trust, and pension, among others, the Indian National Science Academy and the state governments of Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, and West Bengal. She continued to cherish Ramanujan's memory and was active in the efforts to increase his public recognition. Prominent mathematicians including George Andrews, Bruce C. Burnett, and Bella Bobes made it a point to visit her while in India. She died at her Triplicane residence in 1994. Although there are numerous statements that could have borne the name Ramanujan conjecture, one was highly influential on later work. In particular, the connection of this conjecture with conjectures of Andre Weil in algebraic geometry opened up new areas of research. That Ramanujan conjecture was finally proven in 1973 as a consequence of Pierre Delign's proof of Weil's conjectures. The reduction step involved is complicated. Deligne won a Fields Medal in 1978 for that work. The number 1729 is known as Hardy-Ramanujan number after a famous visit by Hardy to see Ramanujan at a hospital. In Hardy's words, "I remember once going to see him when he was ill at Putney. I had ridden in a taxi number 1729 and remarked that the number seemed to me rather dull one, and that I hoped it was not an unfavorable omen. 'No,' he replied, 'it is a very interesting number. It is the smallest number expressible as the sum of two cubes in two different ways.'" Immediately before this anecdote, Hardy quoted Littlewood as saying every positive integer was one of Ramanujan's personal friends. In his Obituary of Ramanujan Return for Nature in 1920, Hardy observed that Ramanujan's work primarily involved fields less known even among other pure mathematicians, concluding, His insight into formulae was quite amazing and altogether beyond anything I could have met with in any European mathematicians. It is perhaps useless to speculate as to his history had he been introduced to modern ideas and methods at 16 instead of 26. It is not extravagant to suppose that he might have become the greatest mathematician of his time. What he actually did is wonderful enough. When the researches which his work has suggested he have been completed, it will probably seem a good deal more wonderful than it does today. When asked about the methods Ramanujan employed to arrive at his solution, R.D. said that they were arrived by the process of mingled argument, intuition and induction, of which he had entirely unable to give any coherent account. He also said that he had never met his equal and can compare only him with Euler or Jacobi. During May 2011 lecture at IIT Madras, Burnett said that over the last 40 years, as nearly all of Ramanujan's conjecture have been proven, and there had been greater appreciation of Ramanujan's work and brilliance, and that Ramanujan's work was now pervading many areas of modern mathematics and physics. The year after his death, Nature listed Ramanujan among the other distinguished scientists and mathematicians on a calendar of scientific pioneers who had achieved eminence. Ramanujan's home state of Tamil Nadu celebrates 22nd December as State IT Day. Stamps featuring Ramanujan were issued by Government of India in 1962, 2011, 2012 and 2016. Since Ramanujan's senatorial year, his birthday, 22nd December, has been annually celebrated as Ramanujan Day by Government Arts College in Kumbakonam, where he studied, and IIT Madras in Chennai. The International Center for Theoretical Physics has created a prize in Ramanujan's name for young mathematicians from developing countries in cooperation with International Mathematical Union, which nominates members for the prize committee. SASTRA University, a private university based in Tamil Nadu, has instituted that Ramanujan prize of $10,000 to be given annually to a mathematician not exceeding age 32 for outstanding contribution in the area of mathematics influenced by Ramanujan. House of Ramanujan Mathematics, a museum of Ramanujan's life and work, is also on this campus. SASTRA purchased and renovated the house where Ramanujan lived at Kumbakonam. In 2011, on the 125th anniversary of his birth, the Government of India declared 22nd December will be celebrated every year as National Mathematics Day. Then Indian Prime Minister Manmohan Singh also declared that 2012 would be celebrated as National Mathematics Year. Ramanujan IT City is an information technology special economic zone in Chennai that was built in 2011. Ramanujan's knowledge of mathematics, most of which he had worked out for himself, was startling. Although he was almost completely unaware of modern developments in mathematics, his mastery of continued fraction was unequaled by any living mathematician. Ramanujan left behind 3 notebooks and a sheaf of pages, also called as Lost Notebook, containing many unpublished results that mathematicians continue to verify long after his death.